I'm Dr. Hill. I'd like to share with you some brief information about cold and flu season. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't mind that the weather gets a little bit cooler, but we don't want to have a cold, and I don't know anyone who enjoys having the flu. We definitely don't want any members of our family to experience these, and perhaps many other types of illnesses that develop during this time of year as well. So I'd like to share with you that if you're the unfortunate recipient of one of these or other illnesses that are developing, some things that you can do to quickly recover and to reduce the length of time that you have to suffer with these types of things. Now, as I've expressed many times before, prevention is key. And when we think about prevention, I know that people describe this in a lot of different ways, and you don't have to agree with everything that I'm saying, but from my perspective, prevention is the things that we do on a daily basis that helps us to effectively build this foundation for our health. Too often we do believe that if we don't have symptoms or if my symptoms are under control, then I must be healthy. But that is not a complete aspect or a whole picture of what health really looks like. And we will become more healthy, we will become more resistant, and we will become more well when we act through a model of prevention. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not everyone agrees on what prevention actually is. I found this to be interesting. You've probably seen this where you live as well, that now you don't even have to get out of your car to get your flu shot. You can get the drive-through flu shot. This is not what we're talking about. And instead, I'd like to focus on the way that I've described prevention, the things that we do on a daily basis to build a foundation for health, not one-time episodic type things. You'll make your own choices and decisions for that. Instead, I would like to focus on what I believe is more meaningful in a long-term sense, and that is the things that we do daily through this three-step process. Now, you've heard me talk many times about nutrition. And again, this is an area where people define good nutrition differently. I think some people say, if it tastes good, then it's good nutrition. And that's really not going to be a very accurate portrayal of what we're going to talk about today. If we want optimal health, we have to consume good, healthy foods. And foods that are high in sugar content or that are processed, we know are detrimental to the overall aspects of health, including begins to reduce proper immunity in the body, stimulates improper inflammatory responses. So it's very adverse to the normal healthy aspect that we'd like to see in the condition of our body and in the condition of our body's immune system being able to respond to keep us healthy and well. We unfortunately also live in a time where even if we're eating good whole foods, we're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, we're trying to stay away from processed foods and sugary foods, we still live in a time where we need to supplement or augment the nutrition that we're receiving because it's simply inadequate still in terms of the amount of nutrition that we're receiving. So I'm going to recommend that you do some type of daily supplementation model. And I have to admit that what I believe is the most complete nutrition source for supplementation is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. I want to encourage you to learn a little bit about that nutrition pack and why it's so valuable for you and each member of your family. Be sure that you get plenty of rest. Rest is one of the ways that we compromise proper immunity and our health overall, and use essential oils daily. Now, as an example of that, let me share with you some ways that you can use essential oils and illustrate just how simple it can be for each member of the family. One of the ways we can improve rest, we can reduce stress, is to use lavender essential oil. More than likely you've heard about it. You've heard it discussed a lot of different ways. Diffuse it at night. This is an excellent way for each member of your family to take advantage of this powerful aromatic compound lavender essential oil. You can also apply it on your person. On the bottom of the feet is a great way to do that. Using lemon and On Guard blend, those two essential oils, is a great way to cleanse the environment, reduce our exposure to different types of pathogens, using them to clean the surfaces that we come in contact with. Or better yet, I'm a big proponent that when we use essential oils on our person or in our person, we can increase their effectiveness almost exponentially in some cases. As a point, let me illustrate. This is some research that was published on PubMed, and it was actually on that blend we just spoke to, On Guard essential oil, and its ability to modulate the influenza virus, keep it from replicating and producing an infection. Now, the virus component that was looked at specifically is the H1N1 virus, and what was discovered through this research is that On Guard significantly attenuates that virus. It prevents it from being able to replicate. Now, they say that that inhibition is probably due to blocking the protein, the viral protein translation. That's very interesting as well. Gives you an idea of how essential oils can very completely interact with many of the organisms and structures of your body. But this is powerful because it's suggestive of if we use essential oils daily, we can produce these types of effects within our body, and it may be that as we're exposed to viruses that they don't have the ability to attenuate fully, and so we simply don't receive the viral infection to its fullest extent. That's powerful. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're the unfortunate recipient and you are either currently experiencing or you may experience, or somebody in your family perhaps receives the flu, it's going to be accompanied with very specific symptoms: congestion, fever and body aches, digestive issues. So in the final few moments that we have, I'm going to make my comments very brief. I'd like you to understand just how simple and easy it is to use the essential oils to control each one of these symptoms or to help reduce them. Now, congestion, none of us likes to be congested, and you've probably noticed that we become more congested at night when we're experiencing these types of things. Eucalyptus and rosemary is a great way to control that. It has a compound called 1,8-cineol, both of them, and is one of the prevalent compounds associated with each of these essential oils, eucalyptus and rosemary. If you buy over-the-counter medications, you look at respiratory type medications, you're going to see eucalyptol, or 1,8-cineol is its other name, as one of the major ingredients, and you can have it in its natural form. It means it's perfect to apply eucalyptus and rosemary over the chest. Will not only help to open up the airways and help you to breathe better, but remember, most essential oils have these antimicrobial benefits as well. Now, a lot of times when we are congested, of course, we produce excess amounts of mucus, and that only further complicates the circumstance. Using a citrus oil like lemon is a good way to reduce the amount of mucus that's present. That can be used very much the same way that we use the eucalyptus and the rosemary oil. Now, even better yet, in my opinion, is when we blend essential oils that have similar properties together, and that's what the Breathe essential oil is for. We have laurel leaf, peppermint, eucalyptus, ravensara, Melaleuca alternifolia, this is tea tree oil, and lemon essential oil. Each one of these are powerful because they will help to open up the airways so I can breathe better. It will help to eliminate mucus production, and it will help to eliminate some of the microbial presence so that the infection itself can begin to reduce very quickly. Now, I love using Breathe essential oils at night because, as I mentioned earlier, the presence of congestion increases at night. So diffusing this in the area in your home where the bedrooms are, or in a specific room, or applying it to your chest is a great way to use this essential oil. Now, fever and body aches, another unfortunate circumstance that we receive when we have the flu. Use eucalyptus and peppermint. Eucalyptus is referred to, its common name is the eucalyptus tree. Its common name is the fever tree. They're both excellent for reducing fever, headaches, some of the other aches that we receive. Easily applied to the back of the neck or to the forehead. Can be used topically and will be very, very effective. Now, upset stomach, unfortunately, is another aspect of having the flu, and the essential oils of ginger and peppermint both have been studied rather extensively and can greatly reduce the amount of nausea that we experience. Now, I like using these oils topically directly over the stomach or on the bottom of the feet. My favorite way to use them personally is to put them in water or put them in a capsule and take them that way. Now, just as we mentioned that I have a blend that's associated with respiratory infections that I like to recommend, which is Breathe essential oil. For this type of stomach upset, I think another blend called Digest Zen is extremely beneficial. We have the ginger and peppermint, but then we have the addition of several other essential oils. Caraway, tarragon, coriander, fennel, aniseed. Each one of the essential oils in this blend can help to reduce inflammation, can reduce the nausea, and has some antimicrobial aspects associated to it. Many times we have stomach upset because we have microbial activity that's unfavorable in our digestive tract, and this is a great way to help control this. I like using this in the same way I just described with the ginger and with the peppermint. It can be used topically, but I prefer that I put it in some water, or maybe that I take it in a capsule. Using essential oils daily in this process not only is effective for prevention, but as you can see, very quickly and easily we can overcome many of the symptoms that are associated if we are unfortunate enough to become ill with some type of an infection during this cold and flu season. When we use essential oils daily, we're protecting our health. We're acting in this model of prevention. I hope that you find ways that you can use the essential oils effectively with your family, just as I have mine. Thank you for sharing a little bit of time with me.